Hey everybody, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden. Hey guys, yeah, we're out in our garden today. We're out in our front yard and we're gonna transplant some azaleas today.
This is a project we've been wanting to do for a while.
Yep. We wanted to update our front yard. It's been an ongoing thing for us to plan, and we're finally here.
I know.
So as part of our update, we're gonna do a phase 1, which is transplanting azaleas.
That's today's video, yeah, and we're gonna teach you how we're gonna do it and how we're gonna be really careful with our azaleas because we don't wanna lose them, we don't wanna risk harming them at all. So they're very, very old plants.
So should we show them what we're gonna do?
Yeah, let's show them the plan.
Cool.
Okay, you guys, so here we are in our front bed, and we've had this plan for a while to redesign and refresh this space. So you may be familiar with this azalea we showed you earlier this year. It's a beautiful pink, like bright pink azalea right in the front of our house. Actually, you guys, there's two of them. There's one right here, and then there's one behind it.
Let's
it's
get
two
in here
plants.
a little bit
I know, let's
closer
take a
and
look.
show what we got here. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we've got two.
So
we've got two plants, 1 and 2.
Yep, they're really close together. They're planted really close together, but that's okay.
I know they were. And you guys, this doesn't look like much right now because we recently pruned these back quite a bit. Yep. Like I would say at least 2/3 of this plant was cut off.
Yep.
There's also a second azalea right here. You can see how, this is so old and just covered with this moss. And this is a beautiful purple. In fact, look.
Oh, there it is.
There's still some blooms hanging on here.
Oh, yay. Yep, they're just on their way out.
I know. We also have this giant rhodie behind us that's kind of this beautiful reddish pink color. And all of these plants were planted by my grandparents. A lot of you have heard us say that, but it's true. These plants are all probably 50+ years old. So one thing that was happening with all of these azaleas is they were just getting kind of raggedy looking. They were very old, like we said. We wanted to keep them, but they were getting just covered with moss and lichen and just getting really stringy looking. So you guys, the plan is to remove all 3 of these old azaleas. We want to take really good care of them and move them to a new home. And as you can see, we've got this big open space now. Another thing that we forgot to mention, you guys, is this whole area was completely covered in vinca. Ground cover that spreads everywhere. It's always very beautiful in the spring when it blooms and its purple flowers, but vinca is very aggressive and it really takes over a whole area. You can see behind us here, behind the azaleas, there's still a ton of vinca. It's literally forming a carpet underneath the rhodie. And that's what it looked like under all of these azaleas as well. So as you can see, guys, look at all the space we have now. Once these azaleas are gone, we have about 10 new plants that are ready to go into this area.
So guys, Allison just showed you currently where the azaleas are at. Where we're gonna transplant them to, we're gonna dig them up and we're gonna transplant and place them in their new homes is right here. And this is a newer spot. This is last year where we planted all of our sunflower plants, all our seedlings. So guys, not only do we have available space here to take the azaleas from the current location, put them over here, we also know that another good reason to place them over here is because we have this other azalea over here that is thriving over here. It's doing great, it's filling in the space, it's got that hosta next to it, but you know, it's doing well, so we thought these other azaleas are gonna do great over here too. So that's another reason why we chose this spot. And guys, while they're getting established over here, we're gonna keep our eye on them. We know that, you know, spring's coming to a close. We're almost in the summer. The hotter temperatures, more extreme times of warmer weather are coming, especially in our area, in our zone. But we'll be able to keep an eye on them and keep them hydrated and, you know, get them established in this new area throughout the rest of the year and definitely up until this fall. This is gonna be even a better area for where they're at now anyway, because there's a lot more shade here. They'll be protected by the fence and we'll be able to really get them established and get them healthy in the spot. So guys, here's the nitty-gritty, here's the details of transplanting older plants. Anytime you're going to transplant an older plant, especially an azalea, there's a couple things you want to make sure that you get on top of and know before you do it. One is you want to make sure that they're done flowering, especially before you hard prune them or put any other amount of stress on them if you really care about the plant. In this case, they were done flowering, and so we hard pruned them about 2/3 down. These were a lot bigger, and so that was one thing that we took into consideration is the flowering schedule, when they were done flowering. So guys, also with the timing is usually you want to transplant azaleas like these or other hardwood evergreen plants in the fall because they're starting to shut down, they're going dormant, so there's not as much going on top. They don't need all of the water and nutrients at that point they're starting to slow that type of growth down to get ready for the winter. So it's a good time to transplant, right? Well, in this case, we're gonna do it now because it fits our time schedule. That's pretty much why we're doing it now. It's okay to do it now as long as you take into consideration that you're gonna need to help get them established and keep them watered and hydrated and healthy over the next couple months into the summertime, especially if you're transplanting right now a plant like this. You gotta make sure they're watered and fertilized and kind of babied through the hotter times of the year. So we plan on doing that, so it's gonna be okay. I know some people would say, don't do it now, wait, but it's like we have to do it now because we have other plans and other plants that need to go into this area now. So this is why it works for our timetable. So everybody, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here, we're gonna try and keep as much of the root ball as we can, and that means we're not gonna start cutting into the soil right up next to the main stems and crown of the plant. We're gonna go out. We're gonna probably start cutting at the roots out here. The roots more than likely go past this point, but we can't take physically all of the roots with us. It's pretty much impossible, and it's really heavy and physically hard for both Allison and I to get in here and do that. I mean, this thing would be huge. So we're gonna hedge our bets. We're gonna come out about maybe to here, maybe a little bit more. So we're gonna try and keep as much of the root ball as we can, so then the plants can get reestablished faster, and they'll be able to maintain the biomass of leaves and stems that they currently have in a healthy state, and then they'll be able to even grow even more, because not only are we transplanting these plants, as you can see and you're gonna see, but we're also rehabilitating these plants because we've cut them down so far. We're gonna regrow them and get them to be reshaped and healthier than when they were before. So there's a couple different things going on here, but that's the main goal today, is to take as much of the root system as possible. It's gonna be tricky with these two plants being as closely planted together as they were, but we'll make it work. It'll be okay. And then also on this guy back here, we'll get into this and we'll probably cut out here on this one going back this way into this guy. Something we're gonna have to work on this one is that we still have vinca growing around it, so we'll have to clear a little bit of that out before we start really getting in here to dig down and transplant it. But it's all gonna happen today. So the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna rake away all of this mulch and try and not take any of the vinca that was here before down to the other location, to the new location. So that's step one. So we should probably get to it.
And you guys, before we get started, I wanted to let you know I'm breaking in these brand new gloves from Garden Like a Girl, which you can find at gardenlikeagirl.com. These are my favorite gloves. You've probably seen me wear these in every video. They Velcro, which is always a nice feature to keep everything really tight on your wrist. And they're really long. I have long hands and fingers, so they just fit really, really well for me. So I'm excited to break these in today on this project, and I totally recommend these gloves.
They're all planted in here. They're looking really good. We diked each one of them around there so they'll collect some water when it rains or when we water them. So the water's right around those roots to keep them rehydrated. We're gonna water them in a minute. And then also what we're gonna do is we're gonna string in our soaker hose line.
Yeah, get our drip line set up.
Yep, get the drip line in here. Yep, and the last thing we're gonna do is we will mulch this whole area so we retain that moisture and we lessen any soil erosion or compaction and keep this area and these plants nice and healthy.
Yeah, you guys, we're super excited that this project is checked off the list, and now we have space for planting all the new stuff, which you'll see in the next video. And it was a little bit of a struggle at first, right?
Yeah, that digging was pretty hard.
It was hard.
At the beginning there.
I
We weren't
know.
sure what we were getting into really, but it went along really fast after we popped a couple of times, popped it up and got in the soil a little bit deep. So yeah, it went well. Each plant came up really well. Got a good root system around them. Really hopeful and happy how it turned out.
You know, I was really surprised how shallow the roots were. I thought they'd be bigger and deeper, especially for such an old plant.
Yep, me too.
So that was a surprise, but they transplanted really well and they look super good.
Yep, looking good. So yeah, guys, we'll get them watered in, we'll mulch them, and we'll show you an update in a couple of weeks, see how they're doing. Yeah, so guys, if you have any comments or questions about what we did here today, leave them down below for us. We love hearing from you. And make sure to subscribe so you get updates on our latest videos.
Yeah, that's a wrap for today. Thank you guys for watching and for being here. And again, stay tuned for the next part of this video where we get to plant all the new plants that we're gonna add.
Yeah, guys, phase 2 tomorrow.
Yep, coming up soon. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Yep, see you tomorrow,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye-bye.